What's going on, you guys? This is All Day 1, and I'm going to be giving you guys another Godfall build video. So with this build video I'm going to be giving you guys is going to be for Greyhawk. This is an updated version of my previous build that I made for Greyhawk, because I had such a bad misunderstanding with the way augments worked and the adjacent augments. So yeah, this is a much better build than my previous build video with Greyhawk. The Greyhawk video ended up getting so many views and so many likes, but I kind of threw out the wrong information about the augment slots for him. But the gear itself is still kind of the same. I did make a few switches and tweaks and whatnot since the last few days I've been farming. But yeah, there is going to be no gameplay video because, you know, I'm just bad at editing, and also the for some reason the gameplay footage just gets super blurry and it's terrible. I'd rather just not post any gameplay footage. If you want to see some gameplay of this build, then you can always tune in on my streams. I'm always streaming this game. If you ever that's why you got to make sure you turn the notification bell on, just so that way you can always tune in and see the build gameplay and stuff. So let's go ahead and go right into it. So for the storm flares, I used the storm flares before in the previous build video, and I'm using it again because it's just such a good dual blade to use. The ones I have are actually pretty nice. It didn't come with crit chance or crit damage, so I had to upgrade it to get crit damage. Or actually, I think it came with crit damage, but it didn't come with crit chance on the first slot. So I'd rather have it come with crit chance instead of timing attack damage. Soul Shatter buildup is really nice, especially for Greyhawk. Just being able to add up more and more Soul Shatter buildup is actually really nice. It did come with crit damage, and then for the upgrade, like when I upgraded it maxed out, it had the option to put crit chance, so I put that. So I technically could have had like 15% crit chance if I didn't have the timing attack damage, but yeah. With the storm flares though, what's nice about it is the fact that when you proc the inner focus, all you have to do is use your northern technique. If you're on PC, it's just E and left click. But when you proc your inner focus, it's going to summon like a blue ring around you, and what that does is it allows you to soul shatter your enemies automatically. Like, it'll automatically store the damage in on the enemy's health, and you just hit them. It doesn't even have to be a heavy attack. It's just light attacks, because the light attacks will technically be faster than the heavy attacks and result in more DPS. So this is going to allow you to just automatically soul shatter your enemies, doing lots and lots and lots of DPS. Now, there are other options though you can use. There's a weapon called the Wither Weaves, which allows you to have a 4% chance to apply Mark of Leeching on your enemies, allowing you to heal from them, and you'll know if it's procced on them because they'll be glowing green. They'll have like a green mist on them, so this can actually be really nice to use. There are other dual blades. I don't remember what it's called though, but it's going to allow you to have more damage, like 30% or 40% more damage, but you take 20% less damage. You also take 20% more damage. Pretty sure I have it here somewhere. My bad. I really just want to make sure I can find these so I can let you guys know what it's actually called. Yeah, I cannot find them anywhere. I'm probably just blind right now. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to allow you to do 30% or 40% more damage. Oh, right here, Wanderer's Ambition. While Inner Focus is active, you deal 42% damage and take 25% more damage. So I mean, if you don't mind taking that much more damage but you deal way more damage, then obviously those will help you put out more damage than what the storm flares will. But it is very risky, like I said. Next is going to be the secondary, which is going to be your Darkstar Crusher. Darkstar Crusher is going to allow you to pretty much summon a time bubble that is a trap. So anything that is in the time bubble will be slowed, allowing you to put out as much damage, as much DPS as possible. This works on everything as well. It works on bosses, main bosses, ads, elites, etc. It works on anything and everything. and it seems like it scales higher than just 30% slow. It's like a 90% instead of 30%. It is a 2-minute cooldown as well. But the perks on here doesn't really matter unless you do actually plan on using the Darkstar Crusher as an actual weapon, which is not terrible. And the fact is, it is a Warhammer, so it helps you breach your enemies list. Enemies that have a shield, you have to breach them. So being able to switch to the Warhammer and then just spamming your heavy attack on them is actually going to be really nice. And then just switch back to your dual blades just to do the breach damage. Next is going to be the Mark of the Duelist. So the Mark of the Duelist is only going to come out with Spirit, but the Mark of the Duelist is going to be nice because it gives you 80 health whenever you perform a crit hit. And you're always pretty much going to be critting, and it's even faster because you're using dual blades. Dual blades are the fastest weapons in the game, allowing you to just heal consistently pretty quick. So if you were to use the Wither Weaves, the weapon that allows you to have a 4% chance to apply Mark of Leech, on top of this, you will be healing like crazy. But then again, that also depends on how much damage you're taking too, right? Now, for the Mark of the Duelist that I'm using, it is level 48, but it came with really nice secondaries. 23% crit damage, 5% crit chance, and 24 crit damage. It does also have the banner charge speed, which I don't need. But realistically, if you wanted the best slotted or best stats on your Mark of the Duelist, it would be crit damage, crit chance, weak point damage, and crit damage. Just because you're going to always be hitting your weak points with this build. Next is going to be the Lunar Token, or your amulet. So you have the Lunar Token, you have Lion Talisman, which, I mean, I don't really think you really need this because you build up your weapon technique really fast anyways, so I don't think you're really going to need this. But Lunar Token and Ash Meteorite, I think, are going to be your two best options here. The reason why Ash Meteorite is going to be a really good option is because of the fact that you're going to be hitting weak points pretty much all the time, like I said. And what it does is it's going to launch projectiles at two different projectiles. I think it's 2 projectiles, or it might just be 1. But anytime, that's only if you hit weak points every time. And the weak points are going to pop up so much for you with this build. It's going to be insane. Like the amount of damage you'll be putting out is insane, and you'll be able to clear enemies a lot faster. But with the Lunar Token, you'll get so much crit chance. With this alone, it's at 20% crit chance in total. And the thing is, I haven't even upgraded my secondary for my crit chance, so it could technically go to 10%, so I could be at 25 crit chance in total. But instead, I wanted to upgrade my crit damage, which should have been at 48%, but it bugged out, so it's at 24. It does have polarity attack charge speed, which I don't need because I'm not using polarity attack charges. And I think the Lunar Token and the Ash Meteorite are the two best options in terms of amulets for this build. Now I'm using the Fiona's ring because it gives me weak point damage. With both rings you're going to be using are going to come as green rings. You're not going to be using blues, purples, or gold rings. It has to come as a green ring, and then you have to upgrade it upwards so that way you can make it legendary, because obviously legendary is going to give you the most stats and it's going to be giving you the best buffs or the best stats. So with the Fiona's ring, it comes with weak point damage automatically. Secondary, you want it to come with weak point damage, basically 3 weak points in a row. So you can get weak point damage on the primary, weak point damage on secondary, weak point damage after you completely upgraded Fiona's ring to the max. And then with this, it also came with Soul Shatter buildup and timing attack. If anything, Soul Shatter buildup is good, but the timing attack could be replaced with like Rampage damage or Archon Fury damage. I think you can get Archon Fury damage, but like Rampage damage or Weapon Tech damage, because Weapon Tech does affect your inner focus as well. Now for a Journeyman's Mark, this is going to be good because it's Weapon Tech damage. And like I said, your Weapon Tech damage affects your inner focus damage, or your inner focus, so your inner focus does more damage as well. For the secondary, you want to have weak point damage, and then again, Soul Shatter buildup, as well as getting the Weapon Tech damage for the third perk. Or if anything, you can actually go with air damage if you do decide if you want more damage towards your dual blades in general. So both rings can actually run air damage instead of the timing attack damage. So you're looking at wanting to have weak point damage, Weapon Tech damage, Soul Shatter buildup, and air damage, or whatever elemental damage you are using for your dual blades. Those are the main stats you want on your rings. And again, when you upgrade this to the max, you can choose out of those 4 or 3. Next, for the lifestones, I'm using Archon's Tear, which is a legendary lifestone. This one gives me 34 crit chance, 143 crit damage, 24% weak point damage, 10% soul shatter buildup, and then 27% damage to bleeding enemies. I don't need the bleeding enemies because I'm never going to bleed any enemy in the game with this build, unless I do use physical dual blades, which I'm not going to be using physical dual blades unless I were to, like use the wither weaves, because wither weaves can come with any element, which is actually pretty nice. So if you do use wither weaves and you want to use physical damage and just apply the bleed, or you want to use fire, or you want to use void, whatever it is, you can do that, and it'll be more beneficial using these the bleed effects. And then the next thing is going to be Messa's Banderole. Or actually, so for the Archon's Tear, the reason why you're using Archon's Tear is because of the fact that you get more crits out of anything else. I mean, it's just worth using this more than anything else, honestly. Even the Cosmic Aetherstone is really nice, but it's just the fact that you get so much more crit chance, crit damage from this is just insane. But with the Cosmic Aetherstone, it is really nice because the Archon Fury charge speed on top of the Archon Fury damage is really good. Now for the banner, you have Mesa's Banderole. I would only really use Mesa's Banderole because, again, this is a crit build, and I mean, I guess you could use something that would give you more damage output, like the Wolf's Head right here, Wolf's Head banner. This one's giving me 40% damage. I haven't upgraded it yet, so I don't know what rolls I can end up getting, but with this, it will basically top off my crit chance, allowing me to reach 100% crit chance in total if I use my lifestone as well. If I don't use the lifestone, then I'll be around 70-80%, or probably around 80% crit chance in total. And then crit damage, I mean, I'll be shooting so much more crit damage. And then with this, I'm at 43 crit damage from with the first upgrade, and 24 crit damage with the next. So that's already what, 37% crit damage, and not 37, sorry about that, 67% crit damage from those alone, on top of the 60% I already get. So I'm at 127% crit damage from that, and then my crit chance will shoot up to 34 crit chance just from the banner. So it's really, really good to have that. Now for my augments. As you can see, it's all reds, no blues, no greens, because I'm at 100 out of 100 with the way it's set up. Yeah, I mean, I could technically get rid of this Black Star, but the Black Star is just super nice to have, especially on a dual blade build. For any other build, it's kind of excusable. You don't really need this, but for dual blades, you're going to build up your rampage so fast, and you have to be so close to your enemy anyways, because inner focus it forces you to be up close to the enemy. So you kind of, I would recommend using the Black Star. But yeah, you're gonna want to use the Frostfire, because the Frostfire allows you to get more crit damage while you're rampaged, and then the secondary I have, it gives me more weak point damage. Next one is going to be Evisceration. Gain the Blessing of Power whenever you perform a crit hit, and then this one gives me air damage, which is good for my dual blades, and then rampage damage bonus, which is good because, again, you're going to build up rampage pretty quickly. And then you have Focus, gain 64 overhealth whenever you perform a crit hit, and then rampage damage for my secondary. This is really good because of the fact that you're going to always be critting pretty much all the time, so you're getting a lot of overhealth pretty fast. Next is going to be your Black Star. During Rampage, your attacks cannot be interrupted if adjacent augments grant at least 300 might. When it says adjacent augments, that means the 2 augments it's connected by. So 159 might from this, and then 179 might from this. So this equals way over 300 might. So I'm getting this Black Star is basically activated. The secondary, though, it has polarity. I don't need neither of them because I'm not making use of them, and I don't really care for the polarity bonuses. Polarity is a nice bonus, but again, I don't really care for it because it builds up for your secondary, and then you have to switch from your secondary so it builds up on your primary, and I personally just don't care for it. But it does have weak point damage, so that's what's good about it. Sacred Flame. Adjacent augments grant an additional 70% might, 15% rampage bonus damage, soul shatter buildup, and 24% weapon technique damage. So this is actually really nice to use, so that way you can actually push your might a little bit higher. And I mean, the secondaries on this is actually really good too. Rampage damage, soul shatter, and weapon technique damage. Last one is going to be surety. So I didn't get good rolls because this is the only surety I have, but it is a really good stat to go. It's probably the best augment to go with for any damage builds, because of the fact that what it does is whenever you hit an enemy with your northern technique, it exposes the enemy's weak points and deals 103% additional weak point damage the next time you hit a weak point. And you're always going to be proccing this. So all you do is proc your inner focus, and then you just start spamming the enemy's weak points, and you're just going to take them out in a matter of seconds. Like I streamed yesterday. Well, I guess it would have been on November 17th, 2020, because you guys might be watching this like way into the future. But yeah, I went against Solaris, and I went right behind Solaris, dropped my bubble, and then built up my first bar of inner focus, and then I just went to ham. I went ham on Solaris, killing him in like 5-6 seconds. It was actually insane. So I would highly recommend using surety on this build. If you don't have it, try to farm for it. If you have it, even if it has really bad rolls, use it. It does not matter. Now for my skills, I'm going to actually clear my skills, and then I'll just slot it so you guys can see. So weak point, I'm putting 4 into weak point. I'm going to put 4 into soul shatter, because the 5th level of soul shatter does not matter at all. I'm going to make sure I put 1 point into finesse, so I know. I'm going to max out weak point, because with this, it's going to release a shockwave hitting multiple enemies around anytime you hit the weak point. So it's actually really good to use. I'm going to max out spirit. I'm going to max out vitality. I'm going to max out crit chance. And then I'm going to put I'm going to max out my health recovery, because I like to make sure I'm always staying fully healed. Ailments, I'm going to max this out just in case an enemy does get affected by ailments. It doesn't even have to be by the ailments you proc, just anything. They can be burned and you don't even have burn. They can be poisoned, you don't even have poison. This will allow you to do 35% more damage to any enemy that's affected by ailments. So it's already good to have in general. And then for all stats, you want to max this out for sure. Archon Fury, I'm just going to put 1 point just for now. Crit damage, max this out, so that way you have a total of 20% chance to apply Mark of Fragility on the enemy, which means they take more damage. We don't know by how much, but they just take more damage whenever you proc this. With crit chance, the greater blessing of luck will give you more crit chance as well. So I'm already at like 46 crit chance in total. So 46% on top of blessing of luck is just going to be more. So I don't know how much more you get from blessing of luck. It's probably like a 25% crit chance increase, and then or 20% or something. I mean, I'm talking about the greater blessing. So maybe blessing is like a 10%, greater blessing might be a 20%. So I'm just assuming, because anytime I have luck procced or the luck plus procced, I'm critting all the time. And then might, max this out. Rampage, max this out. And now we got 9 points left over. So you obviously can go with breach damage. So if an enemy does go breached, don't go ahead and put anything on the 5th level, because you don't need that. You don't need anything on the 5th level on the soul shatter either. So now that all you have left is 5 points, you can either go 5 points into resistance or put into Archon Fury. For me, I'm just going to go ahead and put in Archon Fury. And then now for the last point, I'll probably just put it into Weapon Technique, so that way I can build up my weapon technique a lot faster. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it with the skills and whatnot. But that's pretty much it with this build. Hopefully this helped you guys out. If it did, go and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section as well. If you do want to see gameplay footage of this, again, like I said, just go ahead and come into my streams. I am streaming every day pretty much. obviously, like in the down the line, like when Cyberpunk releases or Outriders, I probably won't be streaming this game as often. But yeah, just I guess you can take my word for it that this build is actually insane in damage output. You will, I mean, you're gonna be swinging your crits for like 5k per swing, and then on the final lightweight attack swing, it's almost 20k. And then hitting the weak points alone will also allow you to do way more damage. So I mean, you're just gonna be doing lots and lots of damage with this build. Basically, making your blades make it feel like you're cutting through butter is what this build makes it feels like. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions on things that you want to see or things that you think that might help this build out, go ahead and leave a comment, and I will definitely try out whatever it is that you guys are putting. But yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. Hopefully this helped you guys out. This is all day 1. Have a good day, good night, and peace.